Yo,
Ladies and
what it do,
gentlemen,
fellas?
hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know, shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know, every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know, I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show, this is BVO.
On behalf of BVO Boxing TV, we would like to thank our sponsor, Raycon. Don't forget to grab your Raycon Everyday Earbuds, the perfect bass model for premium sound, with active noise cancellation to block out distractions and transparency mode to keep you aware of your surroundings. They're ideal for your everyday needs. Just visit rayconglobal.com. That's rayconglobal.com and elevate your listening experience.
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy BBO Boxing. We back with another great episode. You guys don't want to miss this.
BBO, you there?
Yeah, I don't hear any audio free. How about you?
No, I don't hear him. Oh, there we go. We have BBO having a little bit of technical difficulty. But what's going on with you, Prize?
Ain't nothing, man. Just hanging out with my grandparents, just checking on them. Other than that, I'm living life. So with you?
Not much. So we're gonna get started until BBO get back in here. Today's topic is when is it time for you to let your kids go, become an adult and become their own individual? What time do you think is a good time to let your kids become their own individual?
To let go. Well, I guess it depends what kind of kids you got, but let's just use a kid, a typical kid. We would want our kid to graduate high school and to go on to college, or if they play sport, we want them to focus on that. But even so, with that being said, like I would say maybe if they decide to go to college, maybe after that, then you should have it all figured out by then, because sometimes with the whatever they try to do in college or whatever. I'm just using college for an example. They're not going to be able to. It still costs a lot of money to live. So I would definitely help my kids out from then. But I would say college, I'm letting go. When you do your 4 years of college and you go into your career, you got this. You know what I mean? As long as you ain't getting in no trouble or nothing, I'll back my son up until the day I die, or both of my daughters for that matter too. But depends what kind of person you got too. So
BBO,
it
you
depends
straight
how
now?
you. It,
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Good. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
it depends what kind of kids you got. Every kid is different too. You feel me? But go ahead, BBO.
No, I was just saying, when you see one of the things like we got to see when Devin Haney was speaking to the media today, I thought it was so awesome because you got to get some truth. And I could say I owe Tank Davis an apology. I know that it might have seemed like he was afraid of Devin, but Devin told the truth and said, "Hey, I already had 3 fights mapped out the rest of my time at 135. So there never was an opportunity to make that Tank versus Devin fight. Even though a lot of us felt like Tank was scared of ducking and dodging. Devin told us, no, he really wasn't. It just was, I only had 3 fights, and those 3 fights were already pre-scheduled. So little things like that. I hear so many people talk real bad about Devin, and it's kind of funny because a lot of that hate is really just towards Bill, and it's not towards anybody else. And it's just sad when you see it because um it's just wild when you think about that. Let me ask you guys this: you guys think uh Devin's better off away from Bill? What would you guys say to that?
Um, it depends on what you mean by away. If you talking about as far as Bill being in his corner, probably. I don't think Bill should be away from Devin far as his manager or whatever have you, or the CEO of his promotional company, because Bill got Devin to this point based off of what Bill is able to do. Bill is a salesman. He can sell water to a well. He's a salesman. The man is good at what he does. Now he does do a little too much, and it rubs people the wrong way. But when it comes to being able to promote his son, he does it very, very well. And the one thing that we can say that Bill has done, he made Devin a household name on the streets of YouTube, because everybody talks about Devin on YouTube. Now, he might not be the big household name far as a boxing star, because he haven't been put on that platform yet to become the household name, or he hasn't been in the fights that put him on that platform as a household star. But Bill has definitely promoted Devin the best way you can possibly promote Devin. I mean, outside, if Bill wasn't there, who knows? We probably would never even heard of Devin if Bill wasn't there. So I would say, if you're saying should Devin get away from Bill far as being in the corner, probably so. I think Bill brought Devin as far as he can, far as a trainer, but as a promoter or a manager, nah. I think Bill does a great job far as promoting and managing Devin Haney.
Yep,
Yeah,
D free hit it right on the money. I wouldn't get rid of him. Maybe like you said with the corner. Okay, you want to hire brother Tevin Cunningham, former pound for pound. Fine. You want to do all that? That's cool. But as far as him being his promoter, the CEO, and his father, no, he needs to stick around.
yeah. What's going on? We got my brother Dub right side in the house. Hey Dub, so we basically speaking on something I think is very important. The question was, should should Devin permanently remove Bill from next to him when it comes to promotion or managing or training? What do you think?
Well, first things first, shout out to my brother Sombrero in the building. My brother, shout out to Free in the building. My brother Prize up there. Look,
Yeah.
there's no way that Devin should ever have Bill removed or any of that. And I actually disagree even with the corner. And the reason I disagree with even that piece of it is because one thing we know for a fact is Bill has Devin's ear.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and Bill has always done a great job of bringing other people into camp, that type of thing. Now, do I think that he should be parroting instructions from somebody else? Absolutely. If you want to have a Kevin Cunningham or whoever, Shane Mosley, whoever it is, if you want to have them also in the corner saying certain things, having Bill repeat back, you know what I'm saying, giving ideas, those type of things, I think that'd be a good thing. But Devin knows Bill. When my son is playing soccer, he may not hear nobody else, but he gonna hear my voice. Why? Because I have his ear, and you can tell, and I can see him react. Versus the coach may say something, then I repeat what the coach say, and I can see the difference in the reaction. So, because I think that it's inevitable that Bill will always be in Devin's corner one way or another.
Now,
Yeah,
I
and the
agree
reason I
with Doug.
bring
I agree with Doug.
I agree with that. Everything Dub just said.
No, I was gonna say I agree with Dub. I just said if he was going to remove him from any portion of his entourage, I would say it would be the corner. But far as a promoter or manager, nah.
Salute
Nah.
CDK, my brother
CDK,
Jeff.
my brother.
Salute to y'all brothers.
Salute
I
to
think
the
I
whole
think the
chat.
thing that I would say, and this is not me casting the Spurs against my my dear brother Dub, aka Varnell Hill. I think the problem is this. Devin Haney is a beloved brother, and I think for the first time him away from Bill, I kind of understand. Devin was never the problem. It was never Devin. A lot of the hate and vitriol that goes is about Bill, and I believe Bill's ego. For any of us who've played sports, and if you call him what some might call him as a stage dad, a dad who never played but sees their son have something special, which is great because you got to be the first one as a father to recognize it. And pretty much any sport these days, it's not like it was back in the day. You got to spend hundreds, not if not tens of thousands of dollars to develop that talent. I feel like when it comes to Devin, Devin at 25, 26, however old the young man is, it's time for him to take his career in his own hands. And let's see, is he Black Jesus like they call him? Is he that guy? Is he the one that we all been hearing about since he was 13, 14? Even back in the HBO days, we used to hear about, oh, we got this young guy, Devin Haney. We all seen Devin back in the day with the Vizu jeans. Floyd would give him jeans and clothes. It's kind of funny because, him and Floyd were the same size when Floyd was like, when Devin was like 14. So I just think it's funny because I think Devin could be the next Sugar Ray Leonard. And when I say Sugar Ray Leonard, I mean marketability wise. I think he would be a Madison Avenue darling if he gets away from Bill and Bill's cronies. I feel like, and I love Bill. Bill's my brother, so don't think I'm trying to throw shots at Bill. I just think this young man could be so much more special if we put him in the right hands. Maybe get him more of a traditional manager so we can put him to the mainstream where he deserves to be. What do you guys say about that?
I think
Um,
Bill did a good job getting him where he's at. Go ahead, Free.
yeah. You got to remember when you look at these father son teams, majority of them don't split up until that son gets right around the age of 30. When you look at Floyd, he didn't leave his father until he was right around 30 years old. When you look at Roy Jones, same thing. It was right around 30. Even Tank Davis, he didn't.
No, he
doesn't
left his
have his
dad right at
father.
the Olympics. That's something that we missed out on. Roy Sr. and Roy Jr. Right after that Olympics, they broke up. I think we missed something special with that.
Well,
We missed.
I might be wrong about the Roy Jones, but I know Roy Senior was around. He might not have been in his corner, but he was around. But then they had a bad breakup, and he didn't see his father for a while. But what I'm saying is,
absolutely.
when these guys go into these sport events and they get to this level, and their father has always been in their corner. It's hard to break away from your father because that is your father. So it's hard to break away because you're so used to being around your father. It's not until you become into that full manhood. And that's why I said a lot of times most men don't become real men until they close to 30. They right around that 30-year-old age. That's when they become a full man, because now all of that childish stuff pretty much goes away. They still might do a little things here and there, but majority of that childish stuff goes away because now you either have a family of your own or you plan on having a family of your own. But that all that stuff happens right around 30, and you start understanding life a little better. You start becoming more mature and say, hold on, I can't be up under my parents all the time. I got to do my own thing. So it's kind of hard to say, okay, it's time for him to break away, because there's still some things that he's learning from his father that he hasn't learned yet. So that's one of the reasons why he still have him around, because if he looked at his father like that, he's putting a bad light on my career, I can do this on my own, he would have already broke away. But there's still things he's learning from his father, because we got to remember, Devin Haney came into this game with his father. So both of them are learning together. Now, Bill was much older. He's an adult, and he's his father, but they came into the game together, so they both learning together. There's still a lot of things that Bill don't know, but Devin doesn't know it either. So it is one thing if you could say, okay, Devin brought him in, he could have just went with somebody else, but they was always together. So it's kind of a touchy situation when you're dealing with a father and son, because you never want to make it seem like you being disrespectful, saying you don't need him. So at the same token, he was the reason why you got into it. So if it wasn't for his father, Devin Haney probably would have never got into boxing. He probably would be doing something else. So it's kind of
let me counter this real quick, Free. Let me give you a counterpunch with this. Shout out to all the APT warriors out there. I just want to give you a counterpunch with this. If you think about it, you don't get credit for doing right by your children. That is what you're supposed to do. It's almost like a bag boy. Whether the bag boy carries the bag 1,000,000 miles or he carries it 1 mile, that's what he's supposed to do. And I feel like maybe, and I can say this, I've never seen any other culture where a dad is so celebrated for doing what he's supposed to do. If you have it, as my father would say, I had the brother, so we got to go from here. So I guess I don't understand how you can identify Bill for spending money on his son, the dude that he brought into the world. If Devin said today, hey, I don't ever want to see you again, Dad, God forbid it ever happen, that's his son's choice, because all you can do is give to the children. They don't owe you a thing. And I think that's the hardest thing in our culture as Black Spanish, is that we don't understand kids don't owe you nothing. What would you say to that?
No, I mean, well, they get so celebrated because we see so few of them that does it. So that's why they get celebrated with our culture. It's so few of them that does it. Now there are guys that do it, but it's such few and far between. That's the reason why they get celebrated when they do it. It's almost like your child when they bring home a good report card. You're going to celebrate with your child, but that's something they're supposed to. They're supposed to get good grades. You're supposed to go to school and get your education, but you're still going to celebrate it. You're not going to say, nah, that's what you're supposed to do. You're going to celebrate it. And so it's the same thing when it comes to men being men. When you see so many men not being men and you have the ones that are, you're going to celebrate the ones that are because you have so many that's not doing it.
Well, Dub, let me ask you this, because I feel what Free said. I want maybe you can give me a different set of eyes on the thing. When did we start celebrating the things you're supposed to do, Dub?
When we went through a culture or a time frame where even though it's what people were supposed to do, they weren't doing it. And because we went through that time frame, and now we're getting back to some degree, not all the way yet, but to some degree, fathers being fathers again versus what we kind of went through with my father's generation, what you call it, the baby boomer generation.
No, that would be Generation X for us. Baby boomer. Yeah, Generation X.
You know the generation better than I know them.
Yeah,
our
Generation
parents,
X.
I'm gonna say our parents, but okay. We start to celebrate it because we're seeing it, and at one point in time we weren't seeing it like that. Shout out to my father. The brother was never, well, I ain't gonna say never. He was there few and far between until I got much older in life. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. But he still tried, he did his best at that time to make whatever relationship we could have work. So that's why it's so celebrated. Even though it's expected, it's the right thing to do. I think the majority of us on the panel will all say, hey, if I brought you in the world, I'll take you out. But at the same time, I'm going to take care of you too. I'm going to take care of you.
Well, I got a counterpunch for you, Ru, before you finish.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. Because I think, because I don't want you to miss, I don't want to miss one thing that you said. And I want you to go back to, all I want to just add is this. The thing I don't understand is we say that, but that's his son. That's not Devin's son. I don't understand. What I'm saying is I just don't get the celebration of taking care of what you bought. That's the only thing I'm saying. Go ahead, Dub. Go ahead.
Nah, well, basically.
Oh, hold on. Let Dub go. Let Dub go. I don't want Dub to lose his place of thought. Go ahead.
Oh,
Dub.
I didn't know he was done. I didn't know he wasn't.
No, I interrupted. I want to get something.
I forgot where I was going now. So go ahead.
Go back, Dub. Hey. What my uncle said? Rewind.
Nah, but I agree with Dub a lot though, and Free, because we're celebrating. Like I'll celebrate. Matter of fact, I can use each one of you brothers up on this panel. I respect y'all because of the way y'all are with your kids. Dub, me and you kind of similar. My son's 21 now, but I had him since he been 3 months. You know what I mean? So like we're celebrated because, like Free said and Dub said, we went through a time where the black father was kind of like, we were kind of like outcasted almost. So people like me, Free, us older guys, a little bit older y'all, we was the ones that started to say, you know what? Nah, I had this little mofo. It's my young boy. I'm not letting my son go nowhere. He did with me. Wherever I go, he go. We a package deal.
Well,
And same thing with my daughters.
That's a good point. But wouldn't someone say that's how well off you were? Nobody that's well off is not going to do for their kids. And that's just me asking, because I would say let me say this real quick. The position you're in, I would say our children are in. I never had some of the stuff my daughter's got. And I would say you in that position now that my daughter was in. So in your case, it was never an option, you would think, not to take care of your children, right? At the level you guys were, right?
Yeah,
or am I wrong?
right. No. You're a fact. Like, it's what I seen growing up. You know, my stepdad been in my life since I was 5. I went to my mom and stepdad's wedding. I don't even like to use that word, stepdad. I never say that word, but I'm gonna use it now. But you know, so it's what I saw growing up. That my stepdad take me to wrestling. All the stuff I'm doing now is what I'm used to. So I'm doing it with my kids. But I know people with way more money than I can imagine, and they don't do nothing with their kids at all. You would think that, I was like, damn, well, if I can make $100,000 a month, the stuff I would think, well, the stuff I could do with my daughters and my son, man. But you know, it's all about you when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? That's up to you. Like, I celebrate the brothers that take care of their kids, because we got a bad rap because they make it like, oh, well, you're not around, black father's not around. No, we ain't on that no more. We stepped our game way up, and we should be celebrated because we had to reel it back in. You know, we reeled it back in. Go ahead, Free.
Yeah, and let me go back to Dub. I want to ask Dub this question. I'm gonna go back to you, Free. Dub. So my question would be this: if you got a man who has a son, who has a child, what do you say to that man that tells his son, who he wasn't there for, I couldn't deal with your mama and I couldn't deal with your grandma? What would you say to that?
That ain't no good excuse. And the reason it ain't is because at the end of the day, you laid with that woman. We talked about this yesterday. Like you said, one of the biggest decisions you make in life is what? Who you procreate with. And
sure.
Unfortunately, brother, hey, you may not be able to deal with them. You better figure it out, because that's what you did. Ain't nobody forced you to do that. And so, I mean, stop with the lies.
I love this dude.
I agree, Doug. That's what I did. I don't mess with my daughter's mom, but you know what?
Go ahead,
I send that money and keep them off my heels. That's what I do.
Go ahead.
All I'm saying is, hey, look, I don't care if you can deal with the woman or not, man. Stop with the damn lies. It ain't their fault.
Facts.
If you want to be there, you'll find a way. I don't care if you got to wear earplugs around them up. All right, we going to the park. I'm gonna get you. We going straight to the park. I don't know what we're gonna do. We going to the crib. I don't know what we gonna do, but we ain't gonna be around these two joker right here.
And let me ask you this, Doug. Let me ask you this real quick. And this is an important thing.
Free.
So all of us have been in long-term relationships. Some of us have even been married. And we see how difficult it is to deal with a woman when you have a child. Can you say, and this is me asking you, Dub, directly this, and then I want everybody else to answer. Can you say our father would be wrong if he didn't want to put up with that? Or in your mind, he has to do this deal with the being undermined, being not heard, or being almost in some cases forced to be something that he's not in order to keep that thing going with the child? What would you say to that?
Me personally, I would say once again, you have to live with your decisions. So you figure that out. I mean, I don't care if y'all got to sleep in different rooms. I don't care what you got to do. As long as, statistically speaking, if you want to give your child, and this is just statistics, a child growing up in a 2-parent household statistically does better than a single-parent household. Statistics. So if we're going to go by that, and we understand this, I'm trying my best to give my son the best opportunities in life that I can give him. I'm gonna have to deal with it. Suck it up.
I don't mean to laugh, But I love Dove's voice, man. It's so funny when he said that.
You know what I sound like, so.
You just sound like somebody that would hang out with my grandfather and play cards, man. It's not the way you are. It's just that country sound. I just hear it. It reminds me of watching my granddad playing cards. You know his favorite line. You gonna play cards or you gonna sightsee?
You gonna sightsee, man. You gonna sightsee.
You said
And never mind. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started.
Go ahead. What you said? Go ahead.
Like you said, are you gonna play cards? You gonna sightsee? That's it.
Yeah, no doubt.
But nah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. The other thing though, it can't be no excuse. You can't use the mother as an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
It just don't add up, bro. You set yourself up for this.
Yeah.
So if you set yourself up for it, live up to it. Be a man.
You know, if she was the goofy, then you got to deal with the goofy. I got to deal with a goofy, but I deal with it, and I'm in traveling 2 states because I got a kid in North Carolina, so I got to be down there. I got crib down there. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm in Jersey. Just got back yesterday because I got to take my daughter to jiu-jitsu. I got to do this. I got to do the parent-teacher conference. Now I go back on the weekend. I'm going to fly back to North Carolina, pick my other daughter up because she got stuff going on. And it's like, so what Dub said, it's no excuse. I balanced 2 kids out of state. You know, you want to try that? And then go, yeah, I advise you not to. It's not easy. You're going to spend a lot of money on flights. It's a good thing that I'm only an hour flight from Philly to North Carolina. But again, I like Dub said, I don't make up no excuses. I get my behind up. I go to the airport, much as I hate it, and I go in there and I go do what I got to do. Ain't no excuses.
So one thing I wanted to bring up, and I thought this would be huge. Now, when you hear now a lot of the younger guys, these are what you would call Generation Z guys, and even some late millennials. You got a lot of guys who say, you know what, F her and F that baby. What do you think about people like a Charleston White giving guys advice like that?
He's a goofy.
F her and F that baby. What would you guys say?
He's a goofy. He's a comedian. You can't take him serious, but I'll let Free go.
I mean, to go back real quick, which I said previously. Yeah, you figure it out, but if it's at the point where it's a bad environment, you gotta go. But when you go, you make sure that you do the right thing by filing for joint custody, so you can see your kid whenever you need to or whenever you want to. Like in my situation, I got full custody of all 5 of my kids. I took my kids with me when I left. It was nothing she could say about it. I took my kids with me. The 3 older ones were old enough to say, no, we going with our father. And the 2 younger ones, I had to take her to court, and I got joint custody. And once they got old enough to say, I want to stay with my dad, it wasn't nothing she could say about it. Like, she called me the other day and said, hey, we need to talk about it. I'm like, talk about what? What's going on with the kids? They go to school. What you mean? Are they gonna come back to live with me? Nah, that's their decision.
That's dead.
That's not my decision. That's their decision. They decide if they want to go back and live with you. That's not my decision. So, but when they say after kids and after women, I mean, that's an individual who don't want to deal with responsibilities. That's what that is, because you didn't say after kid and F the woman when you decided to lay down with her. You said you wanted to F the woman. You wanted to. That's the reason why you lay down with her. So what happened behind you wanting to F the woman, you had a kid. So that's something that you got to take care of. So how would you feel if you grew up all this time and you realized that your parents didn't want to deal with you? How would each one of y'all feel if you knew deep down in your heart that your parents didn't want to deal with you, but they did it because they had to, or they did it because somebody made them do it? No, you feel like a piece of crap. You feel like you were unwanted. Like your whole childhood was a lie. That's how you would feel. So no, you don't do that. If that's the responsibility, if you thought you were grown enough to go lay down and not use protection, then you're grown enough to handle whatever comes behind that, whether it's a transmitted disease or it's a baby behind it. Whatever comes behind it, That's what comes behind it. Because like I tell my kids all the time, it doesn't matter what decision you make. Every decision you make has a consequence. It can be good or it can be bad, but you got to live with whatever decision you make because it's going to be something that's going to come behind it. So you think everything through and say, you know what? Is this going to come out on a good end or is it going to come out on a bad end? If you think it's going to come out on a bad end, you might want to walk the other way and go do the opposite of what you was planning on doing. Because a lot of times the bad end is never what you expect it to be. It's a lot worse than what you expected to be. You say, oh, it ain't gonna be so bad. Only this gonna happen. Then you realize there's a lot more behind that because when that one bad decision comes, now there's another decision you got to make on top of that. Then there's another one you got to make on top of. Next thing you know, you got a whole month worth of stuff that you got to try to figure out how you gonna get this straight. It's like when you say, you know what, I'm not gonna pay my daggone rent this month. I'm gonna go to the casino. I'm gonna go to the fight. I'm not gonna pay my rent. And then you realize, oh dang, I gotta pay my rent. I ain't gonna have no place to stay. Well, I pay it late. Now you got pay the rent plus the late fee. Well, then you pay the rent and that late fee. How you gonna get back and forth to work because now all your money is going to your rent and the late fee. Now you can't get back and forth to work. So it's more stuff added on top of it. It's the same thing when you make these bad decisions. It's going to be something else added on top of that. So that bad decision going to lead to another bad decision. It's going to lead to another bad decision. So you always want to think things through because you never know what's going to happen on the other end. So if it feel like it's going to be bad, you might want to go the opposite direction.
And you know, and before, because I want to hear Dub's opinion on something. I read a really cool article. That's why we have this conversation. But going back to the young man that unalived himself after he unfortunately took a gentleman, a grandfather, and a father and husband away. One thing I thought that was kind of sickening, and I want you guys' opinion on this because I ain't gonna lie, I was sick to my stomach when I seen it. Was you seeing people talking about the young man in such a positive light? Somebody lost their father. I wonder when people pass away, and this is just me asking a general question. My man Dub want me to keep it clean. I'm gonna keep it clean because me and Dub spoke about it. But do you think a guy should be celebrated if they do heinous things? What do you guys say to that?
I'm gonna say something real quick before we answer that. That's a perfect example when I say you make a bad decision, then you got to make another bad decision, then you make another bad decision because the bad decision that he made was to go out and drink and then get behind that wheel. And then he made another bad decision by running from the police instead of just stopping. And then he made another bad decision by taking his own life. So that's what I'm talking about. When you make one bad decision, it's going to be multiple bad decisions.
It's a trickle effect, boy. Ain't it though, Free? It's like a trickle effect.
It's like a snowball. Yeah. What you got for me, Doug? I've been wanting to hear from you on this one, right side.
So the word heinous in this situation, I listen, in reference to the young brother who took his own life, in reference to him,
yeah,
it was a mistake. I understand it. Was he wrong? Was he out of order? Absolutely. Wrong and out of order at the same time. That's the worst man you can be. Wrong and out of order? Come on, God.
Wrong and out of order. That's crazy.
Yeah, but at the same time, when you say heinous, right? Heinous in my mind pretty much implies intention. So I wouldn't call his act heinous. I told you what I would call it, wrong and out of order. But heinous, in my opinion, is knowing or premeditated murder is heinous. Or premeditated unalive, my apologies.
Yeah.
That's heinous. So, but no, nobody should ever be celebrated for heinous acts. Never. There's no place in society for that. If we're celebrating people for heinous acts, just think about what we'll end up in as a society. Just think about that. So right. I think that's the wrong term to use for that, brother. But just answering your question, absolutely not. Heinous acts should never be celebrated.
So did you agree with him being celebrated when somebody's, daddy's not there anymore? Did you agree with the people celebrating him?
Who celebrated him? I didn't hear him celebrate.
the offensive lineman that he played with, a couple of different people he played with during the draft. You
They
know,
got personal relationships with him, though, B.
But
Yeah,
yeah, that's
that's what we here. We here to have a conversation. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
We here to have a
go
conversation.
ahead.
so
Go
so
ahead.
real quick. If I have a personal relationship with a lot of individuals who done some crazy stuff out of order, but
Salute, Mother and Queen.
if you were to ask me about them, I tell you, I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. And if I think they're a good person, once again, out of order, but a good person, hey, I'm gonna show them respect and love. Why? Because that's how I look at you. So,
yeah.
however, whatever personal relationships or however anybody is talking about him from their personal understanding, their personal dealings, um, I think they're more than right to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you say the offensive lineman and all that stuff, they celebrating them. They celebrating his life as a teammate. They not celebrating his life as an individual. They going by what they know him as. They know him as a teammate, what he did on the field. So they celebrating him in a different way. It's not the same way as you just celebrating this individual, his overall life. No, they celebrating what they know him, and they know he was a good teammate. He did this on the field. He did that on the field. He was about to go to the NFL draft and all that. So they celebrating him differently. Now, if you was talking about the family, now the family will celebrate his life as an individual. Now you're talking a little different because it's some bad things that happen in his life as an individual. So it's a little bit different. So everybody, like Dub said, everybody will celebrate people differently because it might not, they're not celebrating the bad moment. They celebrating the good times, the good memories that they had of him. Because at the end of the day, he's gone. He's not coming back. Just like the elderly man. He's gone. He's not coming back. And the only thing you have left is to remember are the good times. Yeah, unfortunately, there is a bad situation that you're going to remember as well, the reason why he's not here, but you're trying to remember the good time that you had. That's why they said every time and when you go to the funeral, let's not celebrate the fact that he's gone. Let's remember the good time that we had with the individual. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to find an easier way to deal with the situation that the individual is gone. Yes, we understand it was a bad situation, the reason why he's gone, but you still have a personal relationship with that individual. So you're going to feel some type of grief. And the only way you can get over it, or the only way most people can get over it is remembering the good time that you had with that individual. You don't want to remember the bad times. You want to remember the good time because those are the reason why you had a good relationship with the individual. It wasn't.
And we don't even know if he had bad times.
Speaking of this, and I want to ask Dub this. Well, if that's the case, and we're gonna go back to what we were talking about before, but this thing, I don't know, this thing really stings me and rubs me the wrong way. And I'm asking you, Dub, if I'm watching the NFL draft and the young man took my daddy away, shouldn't I have the right to sue for them praising this guy who took my father from me? Or what do you think?
That's
No,
tough.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
VVO, that's tough, VVO.
Hold on. This is ridiculous. This is getting out of order now.
This is crazy.
Hold on. So now you're talking about suing for freedom, for people's freedom of speech, the First Amendment of the Constitution. You're talking about suing for that?
No.
But I'm saying, I mean, I know we don't like how the snowflake people are, but that's a real thing. I'm just saying, if I'm sitting at home, I'm relaxing.
You can't sue for words.
Who are you going to sue?
I mean, defamation maybe, but that's casting aspersions just because they're saying what they think about this young man at the draft or wherever. Did you see
the AI video? They had a whole AI video that they circulated online, where he was like, I guess they had his voice. It was to me, it was sick. I thought it was sick. And they had him saying how he shouldn't be judged off one mistake. And they even went to even more things about it.
Bella, man. Shout out to, hey, me and Bill, we had a great show last night, man. Great show, sis.
Yeah, definitely did. And I say this, and we going back. I just feel like
Queen Bella.
It's so crazy, man, how whenever something happens, now people tell you how you're supposed to react. But going
No,
back to fatherhood and going back to fatherhood, one thing I will say is this. Would you say Bill Haney has done such a great job? Now we see guys trying to be like him. What would you guys say to that?
He definitely did a good
no.
job.
I'm not trying to be like nobody but myself. That's
No,
first and
not you. I'm
foremost.
talking about other boxing
The
dads.
people, yeah, for sure. I do. Go ahead,
Other
D.
You
boxing
said
dads.
as a what?
You see a lot of people trying to like mimic the Bill Haney style, where they raise the men who don't talk.
Well, I mean, this is a copycat world. This is what people do. People do copycat. They say, okay, well, he was able to do that, and his son got all of this exposure. Well, I'm a young guy coming up. My son is a prospect coming up. How can I get my son the exposure? Well, I'm gonna do what he did because he was able to do it and be successful in getting his son the exposure. Maybe I do. We see it happening with Raymond Ford right now. I'm sorry, with Floyd Schofield right now. We see his father trying to do similar stuff, and so you're gonna have people that's gonna imitate certain things, especially if it was successful. You might have individuals imitate things that was bad. That's their own right. That's what they want to do. They got to deal with the consequences. But you're going to have people that's going to imitate things that got people to what they believe is the mountaintop or the ultimate goal, which is an undisputed champion in the sport of boxing. Well, his father was able to do this and got his son to that level. They're going to try to imitate that. You see people trying to imitate Floyd as being Money Mayweather. They're trying to get only big fights. They only want money fight. They don't want to worry about fighting for belts and this and that. So they're going to imitate it. If somebody was successful by doing it that way, they're going to try to do it that way because they saw another individual successful with it. It's the same thing like with the whole Microsoft. Well, we saw Bill Gates got successful off of Microsoft. Then they came out with another computer chip. And then they coming out with another computer chip. So it's always going to be somebody that's going to copycat somebody when they see an individual was successful at doing it. Just like with the whole MySpace. MySpace got successful. Then we had Facebook. Facebook got successful. Now we got Instagram. Then we got Snapchat. So it's always going to be somebody copycat because this is the world that we live in. People see somebody be able to do something and get successful off of it. They want to try to imitate that same type of way to get it successful. So it's going to happen.
What you got for me, Doug?
Imitation is the highest form of flattery. So one of the things, shout out to Marky Dan. You'll hear Marky Dan say respectfully, or you out of order. And I be thinking, I'm like, man, you know what? I can't even get upset. Why? Because you like how it sounds. Right. And the other thing is one thing people always say, like what Florida tell you, I gave them the blueprint. All you gotta do is walk in the footsteps. That's it.
I gave you the green print.
The green.
I like how you said
that.
I like how you said
that.
And you know, go ahead.
And so whenever we talk about Bill, and once again, y'all know I'm not a fan of Bill anymore. I don't like Bill personally. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
What me and Bill got into, but that's neither here nor there. I still think he's a hell of a father. He's done a great job with Devin. And if boxing fathers want to get out there and have their son on at the level, regardless of the criticism Devin get, Devin is at the highest level of boxing right now. The highest level. And so this is where other parents want their children to be. And so what do? They mimic and do some of the same things that got them to this level. Hey, imitation is the highest form of flattery. And the reason they imitate them is because it worked. And they want their children in that same position. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, indeed.
Hey,
I ain't mad at that.
Speaking of that, man, one thing I want to ask you guys, and this is something that it's kind of different question, but I was wondering, is this to be true? Do you think when picking a mate, do you think sometime as men, we choose the woman who we think will look best for us, other than the woman that we really like, who might be a little bit, kind of a little bit out there, but we choose a woman who doesn't have that experience in life, so she can be like the trophy, but we want to hang out with the girl who's kind of been all over the place. Is that a real thing, or is that just a myth? What do you guys think?
It's definitely a real
Mm.
thing. These dudes
No,
will
it's
do
it's
anything.
definitely
What you
yeah.
say, Free? Go
No,
ahead,
I
Free,
was
because you're
saying
gonna
that
say this. You're gonna see the same thing I'm gonna say. Go ahead.
yeah, it's definitely a real thing because we hit on it a little bit the other day. Um, you have expectations of what you want in a female, but you're attracted to a certain female. So
Mm-hmm.
you have expectations of what you want, but your attraction is to something totally opposite of that. So you might want a certain type of female, but you're attracted to what you see, and you can't not see it what's in front of you unless you're blind. And most of the people I know on this platform is not blind. So
Right.
yeah, you might say, "Hey, I want somebody who know how to take care of the house, or I want somebody who knows how to cook, who know how to keep the kids in order." But you're attracted to that one that's at the club that everybody's trying to holler at
Them
because she
young
looks
boys
good.
is Free.
Yeah, she
I
looked
ain't
good.
messing with them.
She got a nice figure. You're attracted to that, so you're gonna go after that because that's what you're attracted to. Now you might want her to have those same qualifications, but the chances are most of them
She ain't.
probably don't have them.
Right. They ain't gonna have these dudes that go out here and spend their last dime chasing a chick that don't even like them. And it's so funny to me because I really don't have a type. Um, I do date nothing but sisters. That's about it. But other than that, I don't care. Like if you match my energy, then we vibing and we both successful at life. Because I will not let a girl latch onto me and just ride my wave because of the money. That's not going to happen. You got to be making the same, close, or more. I'm not going to rock with you. The way I do it is I go off the energy basically. And if they match my vibe and they doing successful, I don't really care about. No, I ain't gonna say I don't care about look because I'm gonna be lying. But it's not gonna be that bad. If she like Free said, she take care of the crib, you know what I'm saying? She cook for you, she cater to you, she submits herself and all that good thing. Y'all don't be arguing, you know what I mean? You can come do your show, you can play your game, whatever you want to do. Y'all just vibing like that. Shoot, man, that's the kind of shorty for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm big on energy. And if you try to saturate my energy, I'm gonna tune you out, bro. I'm a Capricorn. I will block you out. I'm cold hearted. I will say harsh things, and dog, real rap. I will ban you from the castle, dog. What they used to say back in the day, banish you from the lands or whatever. That's what I would do to these shorty. And me and BBO had private conversation. BBO was like, "You serious? They doing this?" I'm dead serious. Cause my sanity is more important than anything. I will not be. I don't care how good they look. They will be gone. I can get a bad chick. I done been there, done that. But these new dudes, what they do is they go out there simping and mess the game up, and then they go into the club chasing these girls, and these girls are wising up. They like, well, if he gonna spend all his money, I might as well take all of it. You know what I mean? That's why you got to be careful in the dating pool these days. There's nasty work going on out here. You
And
know what I'm saying? But
and
go
real
ahead,
quick,
Doug.
BBO, this goes into once again fatherhood because even like I tell my man, look,
Man.
find them. Hey, you gonna love women. You like them already. I hear y'all
Mm-hmm.
conversations now. At the same time, take your time and really find. Don't get married early. Don't get married. Don't have no children early. Make sure
That's
you
the
get
key.
yourself. Make sure you get yourself.
How old is your young boy, Doug?
He 10.
Okay, so so I remember when my son don't like kids, and that's one thing. I'm at any moment I could be a grandparent right now, but my son don't like the kids, so
But
he'll be
my
all
whole
right. He'll
thing
be
is
all right.
my whole thing is make sure you put yourself in position that whatever happens when it's time for it to happen, however it happened for you, right?
Yeah.
That you able and you in the right position and you choose the right person. Have all the fun you want to, protect yourself, but
Mm-hmm.
have the fun that you want to have. And we all did it, and
Yeah, boy.
that's a part of life.
Yeah,
But
boy.
when you choosing somebody to marry to really be with, like I said, you probably don't need to get married till you're 35 plus. In my
That's what I
personal
told
opinion.
my young boy, Dub. That's funny you said that. I told my
Well,
son he
well,
got
let,
to
well,
be
let me
35.
say this real quick. Let me say this. We got my man Uncle Squeeze in the house, man. So
Yeah.
I definitely got to get Uncle Squeeze's opinion on some of this
Yeah.
stuff.
What up, OG?
How you
Yeah.
feeling, Uncle Squeeze?
OG Squeeze, salute.
What's going on to the panel, man? It was tight for me today. At the gym, ripping and running. You know what I mean? So I wanted to make my way on here. I gotta go on in about 8 minutes. But
Oh yeah.
how y'all doing? First of all, God bless y'all, man. How y'all doing?
Man, God
Peace,
bless
brother.
you,
All
brother.
is well.
Much love.
I
Everybody,
just got one question for
everybody
you.
in the chat. Everybody in the chat. God bless y'all, man. And this journey called life is, you know what I mean? People will try your patience. But what that brother said, he was spot on. I thought it sounded like me when I came in. Bro, I'ma keep it a buck. I'm a simp in the fact that I'm not going to the clubs with it, but like the brother said, we done messed it up. We done messed the game up for a lot of brothers like that, because why I say that is because you do for these ladies and it's never enough, and they always trying to belittle you. You know what I mean? Make you feel less than. And I'm glad he said that. See, ain't no shame in my game. I was raised mother and father in the home, but to make a long story short, you know, I always followed my mother's lead. And my mother used to always tell me, you do too much too fast. And that's coming from a woman. And it's funny you said that, the simp thing. They used to always say that coming up, man, I don't even let him go with Squeeze. He feeding them, he looking out for them, because I ain't giving them shit. You know what I mean? And they getting the booty.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, I'm trying to be a gentleman. That gentleman card, yo, they don't want that. They want that. I wouldn't say rough guys, sort of saying, but they want somebody to, like, a lot of them, not all of them, the ones I done ran across them, they want somebody to talk to them grimy, and I ain't for all that.
Me either. I ain't with it.
And like he said, Zach, my energy, you know how I was when you met me. Now you try, you know I like playing my games, I work, I take care of my responsibilities. Now you wanna change the game up. No, I be me, you be you. At the end of the day, we come together. You know what I mean? You know, but I ain't gonna rabble on about that. But what you said, yo, was spot on. You know, I get better responses when I stand on 10 toes.
Exactly.
I get better responses.
And I tell a chick, I drop you off. Sure, you want to go home? Like real rap, you can go home. You know what I mean? Because they looking at me like, damn. See, when they see me, I got my own crib, my car paid off. I got all my ish in order and going. So I'm like, I'm like these chicks running around here like they the big fish. I be wanting to say, I wish I could cuss right now, but chick, I'm the big fish too. There's a big sea out here, and there's a lot of big fish, and I'm one of them, flat out. So when they know, when I approach them like that, I get better response than trying to open doors and send flowers and all that.
Let me ask you this real quick. Prize. You think the $40 is why they put up with it, or it doesn't matter about the $40?
Some of them chicks that take the $40, but I know chicks that take $1,500. I know chicks that take $5,000. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing none of that. I'm not giving no bread up. Nope, because I feel like I can get bad joints. I didn't been there, done that. BVO, you know how I rock. So I'm not even worried about none of that. What I'm not gonna do is just let you just come dictate what I'm doing, because I realize when I live by myself, I'm good alone. You feel me? I can play my PS as much as I want. I can be on YouTube with you much as I want. There's nobody dictate what goes on here, because my name is on the mortgage. I run the show around here. You know what I'm saying? So if a chick come over here, they start looking at it, damn, he got a crib, he got a 4-bedroom joint, his car paid off. Oh, damn, no, you're not finna come leech off of me, shorty. What you got? You got a BMW? You got a condo?
Yo,
how much?
I'm done, yo. I'm done. I'm going to drop the mic, yo. I'm done.
Stop playing with me.
Yo, this brother, yo.
Stop playing with me.
Yo, I don't know. I can't barely see him. I don't know if he one of the dots or not. But this brother right here, Yo, this brother is spot on, yo. I mean, I'm respecting everything he said. You gotta know
Let me put my
yourself,
cam on so
yo.
you could. Let me put my cam on so you could.
He
So
gonna
you
show
could.
you his watch, coach. He gonna
No,
show
I
you
ain't
his
gonna show you
watch.
no watch it. Come on, man, stop playing. I'm gonna show you so you can see who you talking to. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, so you can get put a face to what I'm saying. I'm
you
dead
know what,
serious.
though, brother? What I like what you speaking with that a lot of us just need to take heed to what you saying, because not number one, you never said nothing disrespectful in your rebuttal. You
No,
never talk about putting nobody down in your rebuttal. But what you did said in your rebuttal is living your life like it's golden. Living the life like it's golden. Golden. You're a
already
boss.
snow.
You're a boss. And you
Appreciate you.
demand your respect. And that's my problem. I want to be the nice guy.
Don't you can't. It's
I
not
want
gonna
to be the
work.
nice guy. And what happens? I get smacked the fuck up. Screw me. I get
Hmm.
smacked around.
Drain my
Every time.
accounts, messing up
Every time.
credit.
They look at me as a simp because I'm too damn nice.
Right.
And
That's
you know the
it.
one thing I will say, coach, and this is something my father used to say all the time. Now I don't know, I don't say this if you're a married man, don't use this. But if the $40 ain't enough, then you gotta get out. It's just and when I
You
it's
are
just
you
one thing
man.
I've learned.
You.
No, I'm saying what I'm saying is there's a certain budget for what we're gonna do. Basically, he used to always say, "Hey, I'm not going broke dating you. I'm not going broke trying to talk to you. So I got a budget." Now we say $40 because it's funny,
You
but
wow.
if we go over that budget, then you got to go home.
You
And,
wild
and
boy. He's the
and to
wild
be
one,
honest, this is the thing. This is the thing. Every time, and let's just be totally honest, and coach, forgive me for saying this. Every time you spend some money, every time I spend some money, I'm gonna want something back.
Yup. Me
This
too.
isn't this ain't a church
and that's
picnic.
okay. You can be like
You
that,
know
but
what I mean?
as long as you don't be nice, then you'll get whatever you want.
See, that's my problem.
But
I'm
I'm
the
not
simp.
mean though. I'm
I'm
not
the
mean
simp.
though. You feel me? Like I'm not a mean guy. Like I'm gonna come
No,
pick my shorty up. I'm gonna hold the door. I'm gonna talk to
no.
you nice. I'm gonna
That
hold your
don't got
hand. I'm gonna be
that
a
don't
nice
got
guy.
nothing to do with you being mean, brother. That
Facts.
got something to do with you standing on 10 toes. You're a
That's it.
boss.
That's it.
You're a boss. You gotta move like a boss.
That's
To
it.
pay the cost, you gotta move like a boss. I
Hmm.
want to come out, open their car door, take
Man.
them fly.
Hey, Squeeze, I got ADD. I be forgetting about a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? My
Oh,
ADD getting it going.
guess what? He
Nah, man.
banged on me over the littlest thing, and I'm looking at him like I just did all of that from you. He
And
just
you talk
said,
about a door? We talk about a door.
yeah, yeah.
You know the funny thing, and I'll say this because I think both of y'all got points. But I'll say this: if you talking about having a partner, and I'm gonna be honest with you, one thing my brother Dub said I won't agree with is that you can't wait to get a partner. You got to get that partner early in life before you got anything. Because I can say I was with my lady when I had nothing. You know what's so funny? I'm gonna tell you one of the funny stories. I don't like to share this as much, but it's a testimony. So I used to sell cars, right? This is back when I was a salesman. Tell me how the dude selling cars was catching the bus and walking to work. The dude that was selling 3, 4,
Hey,
5
I got great go on, man. I'm gonna catch
Hey,
y'all on
hey,
another
hey,
one, man.
appreciate you pulling up, Squeeze. Appreciate you
Hey,
pulling up.
I gotta
I
get with you.
appreciate you, coach.
You got to
Hey,
put me
man.
down, yo.
Hey,
You
man.
got to
Hey,
get
look,
me
hey,
out of the street.
hey, look,
You gotta
hey,
put
look,
me
Yo,
say
we
no.
down.
I
messing the
got you.
game, yo. We
I
messing the
got you.
game up, yo.
I got you. Say no
Yeah,
Don't
more.
get
we
him
You
hype,
know,
coach. Hey, Uncle Squeeze.
you
Don't
know where
don't
to
don't
find me,
listen to him, man. He
man.
yo,
got his
Listen,
pills pulled out
I'm
when he pull up.
I'm
no.
simping. I'm messing the damn game up, yo. You gotta sit me down,
Hey,
yo.
hey, man, hit me up. BBO, give you my number. Hit me up. We
All
gonna
right,
get the link.
BBO, if you don't give me his number, don't ever text me no more.
That's crazy.
Look, now
I
now
got you.
I'm gonna stand up when it ain't even relevant. Yo, love y'all.
Oh, boy,
God bless
crazy.
each and every one of y'all, Tim.
Thank you. Appreciate you,
Fuck
brother.
you too,
Peace.
Yeah, that just had me dropping though. But am I lying
please,
though? I
stay
ain't
keeping
lying
it
though. I'm
blasting.
gonna keep it a beam with y'all with
Hey,
that. You know what I mean?
he got Richie Rich talking. Now we got to hear Ellie Winslow. The whole
No, we
show
don't.
goes
No, we
on and
don't. No,
on.
we don't. I'm shutting up. Go ahead, Dub. I'm shutting up.
Huh?
Shout out to my OG crush too.
Hey,
He
nah,
showed Theo Huxtable some love.
And
Now we
shout
gonna
out
have to hear about it.
shout out to BC.
salute to the chat, man. Much love to y'all.
What's going on,
Salute,
BC?
darkies.
Yeah.
I thought it was getting dark out here. Salute to my man BC. And I also want to give
Here
BC
we
some
go.
love.
Here we go.
I want to give B some love. I seen you in Centers, man. You did a great job playing that banjo. Congratulations on your first film, man. We love you, boy. Good job.
And what?
That's crazy.
And
Shout
what?
out to BC. I don't even know what that meant.
He did it. He just did a Tubi movie, and he was playing a banjo. It was supposed to be
word?
like Sinners, but his movie, he's playing a banjo. So shout out to my man BC. Huh?
Shit.
You
At
said
least he
Tubi?
got on there. At least he got on TV. Shoot.
We go out of order tonight. That nigga said Tubi.
That's crazy.
Nah, but bringing it back. Nah, I agree a lot with Doug said. I don't know about BBO. He said you don't need to wait till you get late. Nah, I got married early. I got married. I was 24 years old when I got married, and not saying that it was the worst decision I ever made, but it was a bad decision because I did it because I felt like it was something that I should have did, and it wasn't something that I wanted to do. So it was a bad decision that I made. Now, like I said, I got 5 beautiful kids out of the situation, so I'm not upset about that. But I didn't need to get married at that time because I felt like I didn't get a chance to really live my life the way I wanted to because I got married too early. Because I was, like I said, I was 24 years old. I was living in New York, and that was the time where I was supposed to be out here finding myself, making sure I'm gonna be who I want to be for the rest of my my life. But instead of me doing that, I sat there and tied the knot, and I had to man up a little bit earlier than I wanted to. But I still chose to do that on my own. I was still going to take care of my son, whether I was married or not married. I was going to take care of my son, but taking on another responsibility, not just my son, but my wife was another responsibility that I took on. So it was kind of like a little bit too much thrown at me too quickly. So sometimes you need to pump the brakes before you make those decisions because
I agree
that's
with
the decision that you gotta live with. It's not easy to say, let me go ahead and marry this person and then turn around. You know what? This is not right. I'm gonna go ahead and walk away. At that point, it's a little bit too late because, like I said, I put 15 years into that, and then I end up walking away because it wasn't the right decision. I knew it from the beginning. But like I said, it felt like it was something that I should have done, or I had to do, not something I should have done. It felt like something that I had to do because I had got her pregnant. And in my head, I've always said, whoever had my baby, that was the woman that I was going to end up marrying because I didn't want a bunch of kids by a bunch of different women. So I made that decision based off of what I had always said to myself, and it wasn't the right decision at that moment.
I've never been married.
But real quick, I heard what BBO said as far as get them early, that type of thing. Well, one of the reasons in other cultures, especially earlier in history or early in history, one of the reasons parents, and there was pre-arranged things because the parents would do the vetting because children don't know how to pick a mate. They don't know exactly what to look for. So now we gonna do as much help as we gonna give you as much help, but I can't vet nobody for you. You got to pick what you like. But at the same time, you don't know what you like until you it's almost like saying you don't know you like strawberry ice cream more than vanilla until you done tried all the flavors.
Right.
So you got to give yourself that time to really have an understanding of what you're looking for. And if you just go out there because let's be real, if you pick something early and you want to say, well, they gonna be with me, help me build this and that. Well, the first thing you ain't going off of that when you go in the pick. When you at a young age, you looking at certain characteristics, and we all know what those characteristics are. It ain't got nothing to do with the personality. It got everything to do with what that thing looked like when it's up and down. That's what we're going off. How pretty are your mom? Those are the things that you're looking for. So you don't even have the right mindset as a young adult. 18 to 30, you don't have the right mindset even.
And that's why I agree with BV.
Well, let me say this real
100%
quick.
agree with real quick, BVO. That's why I agree with BVO that said 35, then you look to do all that stuff. And I think that's a perfect age, BVO. 35. Yep, I agree.
I say this, man. And see, this is the thing about success. I don't know how anybody mapped their world out or what they've done to be successful. For me, I'm only speaking for me as a project kid, and I don't want to take away from my grandma. The greatest person I ever knew was my grandmother. I'll put up there with anybody, man. Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. I'll put up there with anybody. But the thing about my grandmother that I always looked at was that she said, when you are building a life, you got to do it so as you build that life, you can grow together. And I'll tell you something that's very true. And not many people be this transparent on this thing. I've been married. I've been with my wife 14 years. I'm 35. So my whole adult life, we've been married 11 years. This is about to be our 11th year together. And
Shout out to y'all.
About it all is, as a man, you say, this is a lot to deal with. And I'm sure it's the same thing with the woman. But the thing I will say is, it's so much trash and filth out there that, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. And this is from somebody who's been blessed to be with women and stuff. Once you hit one, you hit them all. I mean, I know that sounds a little crazy, or
it doesn't though.
You might have said, hey,
it's a punchline.
BVO is front running. But them chicks you see on Instagram that's all blown up and aired out. The moment that you have sex with her, we used to call it whooping back in the day. The moment you whooping them, it's over. I mean, the thrill is over. How her hair look is over. How she's smelling. How her feet look, hands look. You ain't tripping about none of that.
The thrill is gone.
It's a wrap.
It's almost like you guys ever hold on. Let me do this, Let me do this. It's almost like if you're going up a roller coaster, you hear the cha-chunk, 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 cha-chunk. And then when you're getting ready to go to what you would call the summit, the very, very top, and you come right down. I remember, and this is funny. There's a girl and I said, man, she's so bad, she's so fun, she's so cool. This is what I'm saying. I'm on my T-Pain. The moment I left, I was like Future said, tell Steve Harvey I don't want her. And I just remember being so nice, so caring, so loving. And but the thing I learned is this: it's just an ego trip. That chick that talked that dumb stuff that you don't want to hear sometimes, she really care about you. Yeah. And let's make it even better. If somebody had to take care of, if someone had say something happened, you say you need somebody to take care of some stuff for you. Is that person gonna put me in a nursing home? No. Is that person gonna make sure I'm okay? Yes. Is that person gonna make sure I understand what I need to understand to be great in life? I go to the doctor 3 times, like 3 or 4 times a year. I never did that. You know why I do that? Somebody who cared about me said, hey, you already busted up from football. Take your tail to the doctor. And I go to the doctor, and I'm actually getting myself in great shape. I can't wait till you guys see. I'm really making some huge strides. But the thing I'm telling you is, early on, it's nothing like having somebody who truly cares about you, who truly wants you to be happy. And I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, because it's not. It's going to be hard. Sometimes it's 50-50. Sometimes it's 60-40. Sometimes it's 80-20. Sometimes it's 90-10. But the thing you got to understand, hey, it is what it is. And you know what I do? Because I stay in the doghouse because I can't seem to figure out some of this stuff. I'm just being real. I just lay on that doghouse like Snoopy. And once I lay on that doghouse, I just lay on there like Snoopy. Go ahead.
You in the doghouse because you don't know how to shut up.
Right. Just shut up. Take less money. Be the contender, and you'll be all right.
Hey, bro, look,
Take less money.
That's
Shut
true.
up.
That's true. Go ahead.
If worse come to worse, bro, just agree. That's it. Just agree, bro. Agree.
Nah, I mean, William Haney, shut up, take less money, and just like what Doug just told you, just agree. And that's what I do with my shorty. That's why we don't argue.
No, you know the funny thing about it. You know the funny thing about it. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I've never had a voice with my grandmother. Oh my God! If I asked her what time it was, boom. If I asked my grandfather something, boom. And when I say boom, that's a punch, a belt, or my grandma's favorite. She used to have this. I called them nunchuck, but they wasn't nunchuck. She used to have this little. I don't know. It's like something you could put like around your neck, like a tassel, and have a pocket in it. And next thing you know, I say something, boom, I got hit in the back of the head, whatever's in that little pocket that she wore around her neck. And I think sometimes, and I think you said something real right there, Free. I gotta do a better job of being quiet. I do.
Yeah.
But it's tough. It's tough when you got somebody talking to you and you like, who do you think you're talking to like that? You know what I mean? And they're not even talking disrespectful. It's just that you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it because let's be honest here, especially like if you like me, we black, we go into this corporate world, we got to deal with all these little stupid microaggressions from people. People ask you the stupidest questions. Like I had a guy ask me, like I got my fingers are messed up from football. He said, "Does that hurt?" Why would you ask a man that? Why don't you worry about you, punk? You know what I mean? Just little stuff just little stuff like, you know, like, are you cool? You know what I mean? So we all been around those guys, especially when we talk about our counterparts. They ask you some of the most homoerotic stuff you ever can imagine. And you be like, dog, you thinking about me in that? What are you thinking about me in that way for? What are you doing? But you got to deal with it. And I think sometimes when you come home, and actually had a whole sales campaign about this, about the black man. They call it selling to the Negro. Man, when you come home, you get so tired of always nothing you say is right, and you trying to do what you seen done, but you find out, hey, the way you were raised was wrong. I never got to ask why. I never got to ask anything. So when I hear my daughter was asking why today, I just wanted to pop her in the head so bad because don't ever ask me. I could never remember asking my grandma why. It just got done. You know what I mean? But I digress on that. And that's why I'm working on it. And that's why I learned Free how to lay on that house like Snoopy, man. One day I'm going to figure it out. But till then, I'm on top of the house.
hey, that's the best parenting. Like I never was able to ask my mother for what I want for dinner. Whatever she made is what we ate. If you didn't eat it, you wasn't eating. It wasn't I want fried chicken. I want hot dog. I want it. No, you gonna get whatever they made. It wasn't what you want for dinner. You ate what they gave you. So,
bro, my daughter took the beans out the green beans, dog. I couldn't imagine hearing my grandma, you wasted my food. Oh my God. I just couldn't even imagine wasting Granny G's food. Now that sounds bad. Or spilling stuff on your clothes. Oh my God.
I remember
if I say that title BVO, they so entitled these days, it ain't even
I'm hood.
I remember.
Hey, Doug, I'm a hood nigga. It's brought up that I'm from the projects. That's why I feel that way.
No, I remember having to sit at a table for at least 3 hours because I didn't want to eat squash. I was like, I don't want to eat no squash. I literally sat at that table for 3 hours.
And then what you do before you get up at that table? What you do?
I didn't eat it.
You didn't?
No.
Man, my grandma would have, man.
No. Look, I didn't eat it because it was time for me to go to bed. So I sat there until it was time for me to go to bed.
So you just wasted the rest of your night because you didn't eat the squash.
Yeah, I mean, my night because I didn't want to eat squash.
Put hands
but what happened was the next morning that squash was my breakfast. The next morning, the squash was my breakfast. They didn't throw it away. They
Hey,
gave it to
look.
me the next morning.
Oh, you gonna eat this
They
squash?
gave it to me the next morning. I had
What
to
you
eat
I
it.
laughing
probably
at, Dub? I didn't hear what you
that-
laughing about. What you
my
say?
grandma
Hold on,
probably would've whipped
Prize,
my head.
Prize. Dub said something funny. What'd you say, Dub?
What I said? I don't know. I said you gonna eat
Dub,
this
did
damn
he say
squash?
nothing?
No, because I asked Free. I said they didn't put hands on you, and
Oh,
he
yeah.
said something after I said that.
Hey, look,
Yeah, that was crazy.
hold on, real quick though, just to be quite honest. Absolutely, they gonna put hand. Man, tell Big Man you ain't eating something. Man, who cares? You gonna forget just sitting there. You better eat it now. You better eat it now. And then if you don't eat it, go on out there and pick a switch. Then you can go pick. And then you already got 4 switches you done picked behind the rocking chair anyway. So you just go and eat it, man. Hold your nose, get it down as fast as possible. Look, 2 bites and swallow, and then it's over.
That's what happened. That's what happened the next morning when they gave it to me for breakfast. I was like, I'm not eating that. They were like, you not what? My grandma went right there. She didn't even tell me to go get it. She went right out there and got the switch. Yep. And I got a couple of lashes. By the time I finished getting those couple of lashes, that squash was gone.
Look, go to school. Look,
while she was hitting me, I was sitting there with
everything.
Hey, and I gotta be honest with you guys. Man. I don't never remember having no choice, Dub. I remember asking my grandma something, right? And this is not that long ago. This is probably like 20-something years ago now. LeBron been playing that dog on LeBron's first sneakers came out. I think they was like 130. And I remember my grandma got them. I had got the white and red ones. I wanted the original ones, but I could only get the white and red with the second colorway that came out. And my grandma said, I ain't never had no shoes like that.
Mm-hmm.
You better believe if you don't do right, I got something for you. And she said it so calm. And she talking about excuse my language, she talking about whooping ass. My grandma would talk about whooping ass as if it was like a pastime. My grandma get off that job, something happened, she whooping ass. She just be sitting there like, dang. What did I say?
Hey, BVO, my grandma, 80 years old, and she'll still go upside your head till this day. I promise.
But I'm just saying, I never. And I hear this in a lot of different situations where I'm glad we're blessed not to have to do this, but I remember my grandmother and them taking frustration out on us. I'm sure all of us have got a frustration whooping where you said something small and they just say, you know what, we whooping ass for that. How's that? Or my grandma's favorite word, you about to get your ass when she say, he earned that. We're gonna give him what he earned. you said you gonna give somebody what they earned. What are you talking about? And I used to love how, us being young boys, we want to look tough. We act like it don't hurt us. So if it don't hurt us, oh, here come granddaddy. And that fool throwing his whole back into that.
He a wild boy.
He's not even using the switch. What are you
doing? He a wild boy.
He pulled that, bro. My grandfather had that belt, man. It wasn't even made for winning. It was just made for whooping ass. He had his belt. He hit you in the back, man. I used to say, I'm gonna report you, man. You know what he told me? I'll beat your tail in front of the judge. Now who tell a kid that? I'll beat you in front of the judge.
Look. I told Big Mom, say, at school they say you can't do this. She talking about, well, tell them to bring their ass here too. I'll do it.
Right. I told you when my parents said, they said, oh, you want to call them? Make sure you leave when they come. Make sure you leave with them when they come. Because if you stay here, you're going to get your ass whooped.
Well, you know what I'll say?
I remember when I was 5 years old, I stole $1 out of my mother's purse. I thought it was $1. I thought it was $1. It was $100 bill. All I saw was the one. I didn't see the zero. That was their money to go to the zeros. This when we was living in Philadelphia. This was their money to go to the Jackson 5 concert. I didn't know. I wanted $1 to go to the ice cream truck. The ice cream truck was outside. My mother was on the phone. And she was like, wait a minute, wait till I get off the phone. But the ice cream truck was about to leave. So I went and got the $1 out myself, which I thought was $1, but it was a $100 bill. Went to the ice cream truck, got my joint. My mother went in her purse looking for the money to pay for the tickets, and the money wasn't there. And my mother was asking everybody, did they see the money? And everybody was like, nah. My mother was like, Dwayne, did you see the money? I was like, No, I ain't seen no money. She like, did you go get money out my purse? I said, I got $1. She like, that wasn't no dollar. Man, I got whooped by my mother, my father, my
So wait a
grandmother,
minute,
my
Free. So
It was a community,
grandfather.
hey, Free. So
community
did
ass
so
whooping.
the ice cream man cooked you on a change?
No. What happened was my mother's best friend was out there. She got the money from the ice cream man. She kept it. Her and my mother found out later that she kept it because the ice cream man came back around the next day and I was like, that's him right there. My mother went to go get the money. He said, no, I gave it to the lady that stays right there. So my mother went over there. They got into a big fight or whatever. And my mother got her money back. My mother got her money back. But I got whooped by everybody in my house. Every adult that was in my house.
That was a good one, Dub.
I got whooped.
Dub, what'd you say? The community whooping you? What you say?
Hey, I just looked at the chat, man. Shout out to Dub. Shout out to Dub. Dub got people really trolling him, man. Shout out to Dub. My man Bartnell Hill. Dance with the pretty ladies. Get your autograph.
We got William Haney in the chat.
He was trolling the hell out of Dub. Free clapped him.
Hey,
I chopped him. He ain't hit no
I just peeped that. I just peeped that, but I didn't know if that was Dub. People just messing with him, so I was letting it ride. I didn't know who he was. You feel me? I saw it. I was like, nah, should I shoot this nigga?
I done got used to it now. I done got used to it. So it's all good. I ain't got no problem
hey,
with
Dub, you gotta learn that song, man, so you can start singing that song like Varnell did on Martin. That's
crazy.
Pretty ladies, get an autograph. The Varnell man.
I mean, the way that Dub got a real stalker now. Now that we can talk about it, because I was reading that stuff, but I didn't know
Did
he
you
was
miss
messing
me?
with.
Did you miss me?
Dub got a straight stalker, bro. That's not a fan. That's a stalker.
He said, we got the catfishes. Lovely.
Yo.
That little Mark couldn't even hold the laughing. Mark was like,
yo, Dub got a real life stalker,
lay to the side. I ain't too proud of it.
Hey, what he said? What happened if you came to my house, we run? I would get sprayed.
Hey, bro, don't worry. But I'm pretty sure.
Hey, Dub, you might got want to hire some security, dog. You didn't went to the next level.
Nah, I know. I'm pretty sure I know who that is. It's all good. I ain't got no problem with it.
That's hilarious. You know what's so funny? You know what's so funny, man? And I'm learning this as we done came together like the Power Rangers, bro. It's way more power in us being together than it is us apart. You never get the money you're supposed to get when a team break up. People think Jay-Z got all the money. No, Jay-Z didn't get the money he would have got if he would have bought Dame and all them other guys with him. He would have got even more.
Well,
only us
he made
black.
$1 billion. He pretty good.
Well, listen, this is what I'm saying.
Pretty good.
Us as blacks don't always get all the money. But guess what? The Turners got $8 billion when they went and did their TV deal.
Yeah.
Turner Sports, that was a family. That wasn't no one dude. The Turner Sports family went and got $8 billion and started selling their show inside the NBA to the NBA for $1 million an episode. So, hey, what we talking about? You see,
you're right.
That's what I mean when I say you never get the money you're supposed to get when you break up.
I'm not mad at that. Yeah, I'm with you on that. You already know where I stand, so it is what it is.
Speaking of that, I got a thing that we need to talk about on our next meeting on Sunday.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to bring it up with y'all, see how y'all like it. I need everybody that's part of the STN to be at the meeting on Sunday because I need a group vote on this. It's something that I was thinking about. I said, you know what? We were sitting here trying to figure out what we're going to do. This is something that we can do. So we're going to talk about it on Sunday.
And we're gonna do something real special.
Like it's a football game about to come on.
We about to do something real special, man. I'm working on it. We're gonna feed the American citizens at least twice this year from sports TV. So keep your eyes out. And you know what? I love my people, and there's nothing better than we can take what we get from YouTube and give it to the people, man, because we're gonna be all right. We coming for number one spot, as Crush say. So keep your eyes out. What time you coming on tonight, Doug?
Man, we 11:30 tonight, man. 11:30.
Yeah.
I'm debating right now. I don't know because I missed my conspiracy show on Monday. I gotta definitely talk the Fatal Fury card. I gotta definitely talk about that. I'm thinking I'm gonna do that
Not all week, dog.
tomorrow. I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow, and then I think I'll do the conspiracy show tonight, just so we can get a little bit of information out there for the people. And man, people be hitting me up like, bro, when you gonna do the next show, man? I'm like, hold on, people really right with the conspiracies, huh?
Yeah, Doug, you that I'm telling you, you gotta stay in your lane. You do what you do.
I'm trying. I'm working on it. So, but we'll be live to 11:30 tonight. We'll be talking probably conspiracies. Tonight, man, we investigating the Amazon. You know what I'm saying? Some of the things that they found out in the Amazon. And y'all will see how the show kind of come together. So
yeah, it's about to be good. That's going to be a good one.
But real and BB, I'll send you the information. My bad, I ain't sent it to you, but we will be live tonight, 11:30. Also, heck of a show that we had last night. Me and my sister Bella, Georgia's Finest. We doing our thing on every Tuesday night, talking boxing, and we will be live Thursday as well. We'll be covering the entire Title Fatal Fury card. We'll be covering Canelo. We'll be covering Monster. Those cards as well. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're gonna be talking boxing because it ain't gonna be nothing but good fights. So
we lit.
That's what boxing.
I'm excited.
Shout out to my brother CD.
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be totally honest. There's no way BVO is gonna be covering Ryan Garcia versus
Rolly
Romero, and there's no way I'm gonna be covering Teofimo versus Barbosa. So I think my brother Dub would do it, but I mean we're gonna be all working together on this. But I'm just letting you guys know when those fights come, BVO is gonna boycott. I don't support racism. I want both those guys out of the sport. And I'm gonna be totally honest, I'm not going to use our light to promote racist and anarchists like these guys. I think these guys are despicable. I seen something recently that Tio said, and I just want Tio to know, I hope you burn in hell, man. I hope you burn in hell. I hope you go to hell where you belong. And for Ryan Garcia, I'll put it like this. You think it's funny to almost take that young man's life. I hope you understand that God has the final answers, man. And Jehovah is kind. So I'm going to let you know. Just be glad Jehovah's kind, because the stuff I heard you saying about Devin, as if it's funny to almost unalive somebody while you on PEDs, you a piece of you a piece of you know what, bro. It's just that simple. So we'll be doing the card, but I'm gonna let you guys know early. BVO is gonna disappear when it comes to Ryan, and BVO is gonna disappear when it comes to Tio. I'm not supporting people who hate me. They hate us. They told us they hate us. Shout out to all the trainers that came on here and said, "Oh, they think different." I'm gonna believe you what you say out your mouth. As a man, think of socially. So if the man tell me he hate all blacks, Muslims, and Jews, I'm gonna take his word for it. If another man tells me the monkeys come get the bananas, I'm gonna take his word for it. So to both those guys, I hope they both go to hell. I hope they both lose. We're gonna be covering it, but BVO won't be part of that commentary. We're gonna still stream it and all that, but I'm just letting you guys know BVO is not gonna be on the panel when Ryan or when Tio's on board. But go ahead, guys.
Man, that's hard to follow. So I think you should end on that note.
No, I don't know if you got something for me, Free?
Nah, I ain't got nothing for you.
What about you, Doug?
That was too tough for me to come by.
And what'd you say, mic drop moment, huh?
Yes, it was. I think you should end it on that note, because that was just artwork. That was artwork.
No, man, to hell with those dudes, man. I usually don't say that. And I used to be a big supporter of both. But when you tell me you hate me and you hate blacks, I hate you too, MF. I hate you too.
I felt you on that one. So.
And shout out to Nas, you man, from Cigar Talk, for what you did with Tio, because you know what, man, somebody got to tell these cowards what it is, bro. You're not gonna talk about blacks like it's like no big deal, and it's a new day. We're not going for that this year. We're not going for that no more. You talk crazy about blacks, you get no coverage over here. You won't hear me saying nothing. I'm not gonna stop the team because we got goals that we want to do. But you ain't gonna hear me talking about them clowns. I'm just letting you guys know that.
I respect you, and that's a mic drop, man. We should be gone.
Oh, we out here, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Check out my man Doug Varnell right side. We're gonna get something with Varnell Hill. We're gonna see him soon.
11:30.
Did you miss
me? Y'all boys is wild.
Hey, what do you say? You want a grape? You want a grape?
Y'all boys is wild, boy. Y'all
hey,
boys is wild.
what y'all think about the new? Whatchamacallit?
What?
The Avatar, the new Avatar up here.
Yeah, I'm rocking with it. Yeah.
Hey, look, my sister 2 Cent came on the show last night. Get what the first thing she said.
What?
She said, why your new avatar got a camel toe? I said, man, ain't nobody. I didn't even look at that.
I would never have said that.
Oh, you see
Man,
it?
you know what you should have.
Now I see
told her.
it.
You know what you should have told her, man.
Shout out.
Any woman that want to talk like that, all I can say is like Shay Song said, bottoms up, girl. Open your mouth.
No, you best. No, I ain't. Me, ST and Prize ain't say that. Shout out 2 Cents. You wild.
Hey, open your mouth.
No,
if that's the case.
No.
We go. Peace.